Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
If I can get your attention, we're ready to begin.
All right. Madam Chair, I apologize.
That's okay, Rev. I'm gonna come and interrupt your service on Sunday. Good afternoon and welcome to the East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging Board of Directors meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 18, 2023, and it is now 12:02. The Lotus headquarters is a location of this meeting at 965 North 18th Street in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the agenda is as follows. We're calling this meeting to order, and I will ask Mr. Jamie Robinson to lead us in prayer, followed by the pledge be led by the Chief Carl Dunn. And at that time, we'll do a roll call, and then we're going to break to go ahead and get our food. So if we can we please get the invocation by Pastor Jamie Robinson, Minister Jamie Robinson.
Thank you. Gracious, wise, and eternal Father, we thank you for this day, God. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the seniors of this parish, God. We thank you for the great staff and the board members who have offered themselves to serve you in the building of your kingdom, God. We pray and we ask that you will bless this food for the nourishment of our bodies, God. We pray and we ask that you will help us to humble ourselves and bridle our tongues today, God, that you may be edified, that you may be glorified, and that your people may be served. For nothing that we do will, only what we do for you will last. Amen and praise God.
Amen. Thank you. We stand to do the pledge.
Yeah. All right. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I'd like to ask for a roll call from the secretary.
Representative Denise Marcel.
You need a pen? What do you need, sir?
He called the roll.
He called
Your name, you didn't answer.
Representative Denise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here.
Chief Carl Dunn.
here.
Eric Cole is here. Mr. Jamie Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Pamela Mitchell.
Here.
Ms. Mary Washington.
Here.
Attorney Steve Schilling. Ingrid Payne. Ms. Ingrid Payne. Ms. Kathy Coleman. Councilwoman Carol Coleman.
Present.
Ms. Connie Kirsch, Sergeant Connie Kirsch.
Present.
Reverend Dr. Mary Moss.
Here.
Reverend John O'Connor.
Here.
Attorney Jacqueline Nash Grant. Ms. Gerald Keith.
Here.
Roll has been called.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, and at this time, as I stated previously, we're going to pause so that you all could get your food, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go through our agenda. Members, at this time, we will return to our agenda. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I make a motion to adopt.
There's been a motion by Mr. Jamie Robinson and second by Ms. Washington that we adopt the agenda. Is there any opposition to that motion? Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. Item 5, public comments. Are there any public comments? Seeing no public comments, we'll move to our action items. Item number 6A, certification of Board of Directors meeting. The meeting of January 25th, 2023.
I make a motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Representative, why did I call you a representative? Minister Jamie Robinson. And second by Ms. Washington, that we certify the Board of Directors meeting of January 25th, 2023. Is there any opposition? Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. Finance Committee report, Finance report, number 1 for the FY 2023 budget revision.
Thank you. Members, I'll make this as quick as possible as you all are eating, but you'll find this in your packet. We have a couple of revisions that we've made based upon the budget that we originally presented to you all at the last meeting. So as you all know that we underbid ourselves because we don't know how much money we're going to get in our millage. And so when we got that amount, it was more than what we had originally projected, and so that was adjusted. And we also adjusted just a couple of things as far as like office supplies. When we moved from our old building to this new facility, we realized we were completely out of office supplies, so you'll see where we did $60,000 for that. But total, the only additional dollars that are being allocated is $700,445, resulting into our new total of our budget of $13,613,493. That only again went up by $700,000, and that's our basic report from our budget meeting today. And you'll also see a resolution that our committee is asking the board to adopt today. Dr. Cole, would you like me to read it?
Board resolution to adopt the instrument approval of accounting policies and procedural matters. On the 18th day of April 2023, at a meeting of the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging Incorporated, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a quorum of the directors present, the following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the above-named corporation does hereby approve the change in the accounting policies and procedures manual to require only one signature for all checks. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voted in accordance with the bylaws and articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitute a true and correct copy of a part of the minutes of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Thank you.
No.
Wait, don't sign the check. I just realized
He forgot to mention it.
he read the resolution for the policy change, not for the budget change, and that's on my part. So let me explain to you the resolution that was just read. I'm sorry, Dr. Cole. Currently, in the policy, we require 2 signatures for all of our checks. And so it's signed by Ms. Amar, and then by Representative Marcel as chair, or myself as treasurer, Chief Dunn as vice chair, or either Dr. Derek Cole as secretary. We adopted this policy when the bank required us to have 2 signatures. The bank has now gotten rid of that policy, therefore removing the original issue of us even creating that policy. However, to offer a level of oversight, we're not only removing the second signature, we're also adding that the treasurer shall review and initial the weekly cash register. So we'll still, the same level of accountability that was there still exists, but it doesn't prevent the staff from moving on with their day-to-day operations, because sometimes they can't get in touch with us because either we're out of town or at the legislature or at school board meetings, or we could be anywhere.
Don't put me in.
So at this time, that resolution that was just read, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adopt it.
Well, first of all, are there any questions?
Thank you for the clarification.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about as far as the policy.
Oh, yes, sir. Is there any questions?
Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, there's a motion
There's a motion.
by Jamie Robinson, and second by Ms.
Key.
Key, I was about to say Kay. Any opposition to that motion? Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. Are you going back to your
Resolution
for
for
the
budget
resolution for
revision.
the
That we can find it.
budget?
Can I have
It's in Dr. Cole's.
Ready?
Yeah, he has it.
Board resolution to adopt the instrument, the fiscal year 2023 budget revision on the 18th day of April 2023 at a meeting of the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging Incorporated, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of directors present. The following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the above-named corporation does hereby accept the revisions of the fiscal year 2023 budget. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voting in accordance with the bylaws and articles of the corporation. I hereby certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of part of the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Okay, Madam Chair, this time I make a motion that we adopt this resolution.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by
I'll second that.
Jamie Robinson and second by Chief Carl Dunn. Any opposition to that motion? Any further discussion on that motion? Seeing no questions, there's no opposition, that motion carries.
Thank you. Madam Chair, one more thing as far as the Finance Committee goes. I just think it's our responsibility as a committee just to highlight the amazing Chief Financial Officer that we have in the form of Ms. EBRCOA, as well as the other administrative officers that are here. Ms. Tasha, who's the leader, and also our CAO, Ms. Them. You know, they lay everything out for us. They're in constant communication with us throughout every process, as well as with the chair, and we're just very appreciative of you all.
Thank you so much.
I have a good staff.
She does.
Yes,
And just to add to that, on the policy change for the check signing, I'm real comfortable with that change because I was often the person to have to come and sign them, and there are lots of checks that have to be signed weekly. I started to get even-handed. You know, I write something with this hand, sign something with that hand. But there is a level of accountability after a certain threshold that Ms. Pratt may want to add in at a certain value. Then I think we will have a second signature. Is that accurate, Ms. Pratt?
No, ma'am.
Well, the committee,
They changed it?
and, yeah, the committee did make that change. Instead of setting a threshold, we decided that with those checks that's printed every week, we get a check register. And that register will be provided to check signers. You know, we can email it to you, whatever, you can review it.
Okay.
And then sign off on that. And if there's anything you wanted, a check you wanna see, then we'll be glad to let you have that back.
Okay, I know that's what I was
I know,
told initially.
initially when we talked, we
All
were
right,
talking
that's why
about
I didn't hear
threshold.
that, and I was
Yeah.
waiting on it. Okay.
And
Thank-
also, just to,
Thank you for the clarification, Ms. Pratt.
and Madam Chair, since you brought that up, I just want to add, the committee did seriously talk about that. And the reason that we did not move forward with that, because if we did that, it would become non-existent.
Let's start with this one right
There's
here.
no reason for us to stop requiring 2 checks, because there's not that many recurring checks, especially with all the events that we have. So, you know, that's why we didn't move forward that way, but we still maintain a level of accountability.
Thank you to our chair of the Finance Committee. I appreciate your work and the Finance Committee.
I'll do the next one.
Item C, this resolution is, I'm going to ask the CEO to present the number 1 resolution for contract approval.
The first resolution, Madam Chair, thank you. The first resolution is just to renew the resolution that we currently have on file and on record for me to be able to execute contracts with entities such as the state of Louisiana. Over the course of the last 2 or 3 months, I want to say between myself and Ms. Pratt, we've acquired an additional $500,000 maybe from in grant money from different state departments, the Office of Public Health, additional funds from Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals, and my current resolution to sign contract is about to die, so we need to update that. And so that's the first one, if you would read that in.
Board
Resolution to adopt the instrument contract approval on the 18th day of April 2023 at a meeting of the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of directors present. The following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors do hereby authorize Tasha Clark, Amar Clark, Chief Executive Officer, to negotiate on terms and conditions that she may deem advisable, contract or contracts with the effective date of April 18, 2023, and to execute said documents on behalf of the corporation. And further, do we hereby give her the power and authority to do all things necessary to implement, maintain, and amend or renew said documents. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voting in accordance with the bylaws and articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of the part of the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. I need a motion to accept the board resolution as it relates to the contract approval.
Madam Chair, I make a motion.
There's a motion by Jamie Robinson and second by Sergeant Kirk that we accept it. Is there any opposition to that motion? Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. Next item is resolution for EBR Council on Aging 2023 Disaster Preparedness Plan.
As you know, every year we have to renew, update, and make addendums to our disaster preparedness plan as things occur. If you recall, last year it was intensive and heavy as it relates to pandemics and health pandemics, and this year some of the changes had to do with cybersecurity and nuclear security. So there are some new policies that have come out from different entities, and all the Council on Agents have to do this. So this is just our resolution saying that we have done our due diligence as it relates to the changes for the disaster preparedness policy, and that we'll implement the said new policies on this month.
Can I have Dr. Cole to read that resolution?
Board resolution to adopt the instrument. Acceptance of the 2023 EBRCOA, East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging, Emergency Disaster Preparedness Plan on the 18th day of April 2023 at a meeting of the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging Incorporated, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of directors present. The following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded by the following resolution to be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the above-named corporation does hereby accept the 2023 East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging Emergency Disaster Preparedness Plan. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voting in accordance with the bylaws and the articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of a part of the minutes of a meeting of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. Can I get a motion to adopt this resolution?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and second. Is there any opposition? Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. Resolution, have Dr. Cole read the resolution for service procurement
Let me
plan.
explain it first, if
You
I
want to
could.
explain it first? Okay.
Every 5 years, we have to do what's called a bid for our services as it relates to all our federal grant dollars and contracts. So every year we let a bid for all, I want to say there are 18 services we provide. Of the 18, maybe 10 or 12 of them are federally funded. Those federally funded services have to be bidded by the AAA, which, as you recall, we really are two entities in one. We're an area agency on aging, and then we are a council on aging. Council on Aging, the AAA signs all the contracts from the feds and the state. Council on Aging carries out the services. This is just a bid for our services where we're gonna do all of the services with the exception of two. We're the last council in the state of Louisiana that was doing our own in-home services by our own employees. We're going to contract those services with a company that is better situated to be able to handle the medical issues that have evolved due to COVID and those type of illnesses. And so we're going to bid out our Title 3B, which is our homemaker services. Ladies will go in and do the homes. We'll bid it to a company. We're also going to build out our Title 3E services, which is through the National Family Care Service. What's the S stand for? Services. Support. Okay. And that is in-home respite. That is when a client gets 3 to 4 hours of sitter services while the person is there or the company is there. They'll do some light housekeeping, but mostly keep the client engaged and active. And then the other one is personal care. That is 1 hour of either hygiene issues, bathing clients, brushing their hair, anything as their personal care relates. And so we're going to bid those two aspects of our services out. It is cheaper for a company like Home Instead that has this certain level of insurance that it takes to be able to do those services. The insurance is very expensive when you go in and you're helping others, and if somebody falls, if somebody slips, and we're not medical providers, and they are, and they'll have licenses. So we're going to bid these services out. We don't know which company is going to apply, but we're bidding those two services out, and that's what the resolution is for. Yes, sir.
So I do have a question.
Yes.
Do we have any oversight? Do we have?
We do. So what we do is 3 things happen. We do the assessment on each client. We create the continuum of care from the care manager who says that Miss So-and-so on Monday we want her bathed, on Friday we want her house clean, and we want you to sit 4 hours. So we have oversight. There will be a monitoring piece where we go in, monitor the company, pop-up inspections, and also speak with the client and their caregiver to see how the service is going. So we have to do all those pieces for the governor's office, who also will do those same monitoring type activities.
How many seniors currently receive that service?
Currently none right now because due to COVID, the feds put all of that on hold countrywide. And so starting in July 1, they're going to bring back these services.
So
So
at one point we were doing it.
at one point we were doing
At
it.
a great scale.
At a large scale, right, we were. We had maybe, how many were there? 500 homemaker clients? 500 homemaker clients, maybe another 85 respite clients. And so we're bidding for them to do that same level of work for
I
us.
just want to highlight that because I do remember at a point in time
We used
the
to do it.
caseload was so great.
So great. And we had lists.
Waiting list.
list, yeah.
So I just want to piggyback on that is
Sure.
that I know our employees are good
Yeah,
because we have constant monitoring.
Sure.
But my concern is always when you have that outside, and so we have to make sure that because it's attached to our name,
that's right.
that there's nothing that's left on the table.
That's
That we're
right.
going in and somebody's going to check it.
That's right.
Right.
And not only that, and every person will have to get their license, be it if they're CNA or we have to get their license. We have to have all the company's licenses. We have to have their insurance. Each employee has to be bonded, right? And so there is a whole level of oversight that we'll do first before we say, okay, you can go to Miss So-and-so's house.
I would like to mention this, that your continuum of care is it equivalent to an individual treatment plan?
Yes, it's like an individual treatment plan for, and what it says is, we will contact you weekly by phone, we'll come to the house if you have issues, we expect you to call us, we meaning, because some of this is for the caregiver, we expect you to call us and tell us how your parent is doing. If we need to come in the home, you need to know that we can come at any time. If we feel like there's an issue, we can call Elderly Protective Services to come in the home, and we can open the case ourselves. And so that's what the continuum of care plan, it comes from the social workers, care managers, and they say this is what
Okay.
the senior needs every week. Yeah.
That's all.
And that department will stay intact as well?
Yes, oh, yeah.
So the department will still be intact?
And then the ladies who formerly did this job have all been moved into senior center positions. And so they are established in a new job. And so I didn't want to pull them out of the job that they're currently enjoying to get them to go back, because it's, their licenses have lapsed, some of them during this time, because they felt like they weren't going back. And so
Not only that, those senior citizens need 2 people there. There's so many.
2 or 3 now.
Yeah.
We've grown that
There's so many
much.
seniors.
Yeah.
So you have the clinical staff.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Cole, can I get you to read the resolution for the service procurement plan?
To adopt the instrument, the fiscal year 2024, fiscal year 2027 service procurement plan on the 18th day of April 2023 at a meeting of the Board of Directors of East Baton Rouge Parish Council on Aging Incorporated, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of directors present. The following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the above-named corporation does hereby approve the fiscal year 2024 through 2027 service procurement plan. The above resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voting in accordance with the bylaws and articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of a part of the minutes of a meeting of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. Can I get a motion to accept the resolution?
I make a motion to accept the board resolution to adopt this statement for the service procurement.
Can I get a second? It's been properly moved and second that we accept the resolution. Is there any opposition to this resolution being adopted? Seeing none, so moved. Item number 4.
And the last item, board members, is our bid for our food vendor. So as with service procurement, we also have to bid every 5 years for our food vendor. We do not, most councils have to bid for the food itself, but because we cook the food, we only have to bid for our vendors. And so we're letting a bid for $2.8 million worth of raw food cost. That's about how much we spend every year to buy food to prepare the meals. It's 2.8 for raw food. 2.3 of that cost will go for the provider to provide raw food, paper goods, bread, and chemicals. Another $350,000 of that cost is solely designated for milk. Another $152,000 is solely designated for fresh fruit and produce. And so this is the bid that we have to write. We wrote this last
Did
week.
y'all do the increase for the eggs?
Yes, it's included. We did include
Just want to make
for the
sure.
eggs. This one is actually simpler than the service procurement, even though it's larger. There are only 3 food vendors in our parish that can qualify to bid for the quantity of food that we do, and that is Merchants, Cisco, and U.S. Foods. Merchant is our current vendor. They've been a great partner, and I'm sure they're going to bid again. And this is solely to say that we're bidding out the vendors. They have to get an opportunity every 5 years, according to the federal government, to get an opportunity to bid. And so we'll be receiving bids from Borden for milk. Capital City Produce will bid. I think they already picked up their bid for fresh fruit and vegetables.
Board resolution to adopt this instrument, fiscal year 2024 to fiscal year 2027 food vendor bid. On the 18th day of April 2023, at a meeting of the Board of Directors of the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging Incorporated, a corporation held in the city of Baton Rouge, state of Louisiana, with a quorum of directors present, the following business was conducted. It was duly moved and seconded that the following resolution be adopted. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the above-named corporation does hereby approve the fiscal year 2024-2027 food vendor bid. The following resolution was passed by a majority of those present and voted in accordance with the bylaws and articles of incorporation. I certify that the above and foregoing constitutes a true and correct copy of a part of the minutes of a meeting of the Board of Directors held on the 18th day of April 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. Can I get a motion to accept the resolution?
Make a motion that we accept the bid.
It's been moved by Dr. Cole and second by Minister Moss. I just want you to wake up.
Not sleep, I'm observing.
Is there any opposition? Yes, sir. It's been properly moved and second. Is there any opposition? Seeing no opposition, that resolution passed. And now I'll have number 7, the CEO report.
Okay, so I already spoke to you all about these FY 24-27 service procurement plan, so I'm not gonna go back over that if that's okay. I'll jump right into the fiasco that is happening at this building currently. I don't know if you had an opportunity to come around the building, but the truck dock has been removed and is being redone. When we got ready for our certificate of occupancy, we did a full walkthrough with the contractor, the architect, the civil engineer, and we realized that they didn't build the truck dock deep enough or high enough for the truck to get in the dock. Okay? And so with all these professionals, with all these licenses and all of that, they built a truck dock that my truck could barely fit in. Nobody did the accurate measurements to make sure that an 18-wheeler or the milk truck or the food truck could back in and deliver the food. And so what they wanted me to do was just to go ahead and keep that, and they were gonna give us some minute amount. And what I did was call a meeting with our legal staff and had all of them to come in. And basically he told them, you could do one or two things. You're gonna go out here and fix it, pay for it, and repair it, or we'll just sue you for every mistake that you've made through the course of this building. And so we're getting a new truck dock. In the next 6 weeks, it'll be done, but they had to tear out all the 6 to 8 weeks. Had to tear all the concrete out, redo it. On Friday, an actual 18-wheeler will come to this building and back down and make sure that it fits, right? And so that's the nature of the beast. People don't think that we're gonna check, and we want to be good stewards of the seniors' money and the public's money, and so we're gonna get what we paid for.
So did you have another contractor come out?
It's the same contractor.
The question I'm having is, okay, you messed up, but you made the plans, so what happens now 10 years later when the drainage is different because you didn't check for that because you had a different plan?
Well, we have an additional level from the civil engineer who will make sure that the drainage is straight. The city parish is gonna come back and recheck to make sure that the drainage is going into the right place, either the bioswale or into one of the other cauldrons. But our attorney felt like that they made the mistake, they should fix it. And we are having weekly meetings with them. The civil engineer is coming often. We're doing soil testing just to make sure they're just not digging a bigger hole. And so we have some different levels of oversight on the project. So hopefully you come back in 6 to 8 weeks and you'll see all new concrete. Second thing is we're gonna go just give you a brief update on our 2 Lotus villages, and I'm gonna let Ms. Janice do that. She is the queen of everything Lotus Village, right? And so I kind of let her do her job for Ms. Janice.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. We have less drama.
Less drama.
With Lotus Village. First, I want to say that we're in the process of closing Lotus Village 1, 2, and 3. There are a few more steps that we've got to take. There's some steps relating to permitting and a few things that we've got to do as it relates to just getting approval by Planning Commission to close out everything. Once closed, we will receive all keys from our contractors, so we're very pleased. So you're looking at the developers of a 116-unit, 1-bedroom unit for seniors who are low income and 62 years older. So I say give yourselves a hand for the support that you've given us. Next, I just want to say that it doesn't stop with Lotus Village. We are just excited because we made a commitment to revitalize the Gracie suburb area. And what I mean by revitalize the area, we want to address the blight in the community. We want to address issues of abandoned and vacant properties. We want to deal with overgrown lots. And we also want to deal with the trash that people are illegally dumping in neighborhoods. So all of these things can contribute to some safety issues and other issues, just ugly issues. We made the commitment when we moved here to transform this area and stabilize the community. And so in doing so, that we're committed to acquiring new property, acquiring lots, and also being in a position that once we get this property, to renovate it so that we can continue to house those seniors who are low income and who are in need of housing. And right now, I'm just so happy that we have one property that we're substantially renovating, and we're going to give it all the bells and whistles that you might have seen in the Lotus Village Apartments, so that as soon as it's completed, we will be able to put a senior in need of housing in that unit. So we're very pleased by the things that we're doing. And we like to call that our Lotus Village Phase 2. And that's what Phase 2 is all about, the revitalization and the continuation of bringing housing to this community for our seniors. And then last, I want to just give you an update on where we are with Lotus Village at the Lakes. I know we mentioned that some time ago, Lotus Village at the Lakes. We have property that's located on Plank and Kent Drive in Baker, Louisiana. It's about 6.2 acres of land that we've acquired. And so, and since then, since the acquisition of that land, we've been able to do surveys. We've had our environmental assessments done. And now, we were even able to get funding from Capital Outlay Administration. So we're pleased now to be in a position to work with the architects to make two designs for our development, looking at housing that will accommodate anywhere between 45 and 60 units. And also, we're going to have a senior center on that same property. So right now, we're working with the architect because we want to make sure that we're going to subdivide the land because we're going to work with those projects separately. We're not going to work with them together because we want to make sure that funding is in place for each of those properties. And of course, because we have housing, you know that we have housing funding and we have funding, we're looking for funding, more funding for the senior center. So we're very pleased by the work that we're getting ready to do, because once we get once we re-subdivide the land, then the next thing we want to do is to make sure that we can go in and start our site work.
And this is in the great metropolis of Baker, Louisiana, right there.
Hey, you don't need to say
That's
anything.
it, right there.
Hey, you don't need to say anything else.
I do have a question, Madam Chair, CEO. Will we have security at that facility?
We're gonna work with our great chief
I
of
was just-
police to figure out.
I just thought I'd
Security.
ask and get him on the record.
It seemed like not only security, but the very best that you got to offer.
That's it.
Ms. Bartlett, are you trying to get a raise?
That's it. We're gonna fry fish, huh?
Well, we knew that was gonna happen, Chief.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you have a senior center in Baker at all?
We do. It's connected to the city, but we have outgrown the space for some time. So this falls in the line between Baker and Zachary, and we're gonna make one large center situated like the Lotus Center. This will be about 15,000 square feet. It'll have a fitness center. It'll have a pantry. It'll have a great meeting space. And it's going to be mirrored after the Lotus Center.
And so that will be the sole location.
We won't have the Baker Center. I haven't decided about the Zachary Center as of yet, because what's happening in the Zachary Center, which is funny, I'm getting a lot of people from Port Hudson that is coming to the Zachary Center. And so I probably will keep the Zachary Center and just eliminate the center at Baker. Because I've been working with the chief and with the mayor of Baker, and so we're gonna come together, and they have committed to support this endeavor.
And also, seniors are just very territorial.
They are.
You know, they're like, oh, we want our stuff.
We want our own
Exactly.
stuff. We
don't
want our
no
stuff to
Baker.
stay in Zachary.
Especially about Baker.
Especially about Baker, that's for sure, that's for sure. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna go to, yes, sir.
Can I ask
Sorry.
you this question? What about, on the perspective, senior citizens and housing development, about how village and,
So that's what I'm going to next.
That's where you're going?
Going
Okay.
next. So next is, Howard Village. Is that what you have next, Trudy? What you got next? You don't have the picture? Okay, let's go to the Earl K. Long project. So this is called, Earl K. Long North Point. This is a project that is being done by many different entities. I don't know if you recall when they demolished the old Earl K. Long, they gave the property to LSU, who in turn gave it to the Housing Authority. So in here, all housing will be done by the Housing Authority. We have Care South, which is that front little corner piece, Care South Medical and Dental. You want to point at them for me? Yeah, right there. That's Care South. And then slide over. Right there will be this corner right here is the Council on Aging Senior Center in connection with the library. So we will do these pieces together. The land will be given to us, and we'll have to go and raise our funds to do our infrastructure. Also in here is the YWCA, Early Head Start Center. There is a new school there. There is a space for businesses in the area. It's called the New Day School or something. It's a charter school, I believe. I'm not exactly sure.
Where is it gonna be, on our property?
No. All this is together. I want to say this is 10 or 15 acres, but the school is in here. In the center is a slide back over, Trudy. In the center, the Arts Council, the Great Arts Council of Baton Rouge, will do the velodrome with the stadium stage, kind of like they have downtown. BREC is doing the park area. There is a transportation depot that CATS will be doing. So what this is, it's mirrored and planned on the same, like Perkins Road, just a little differently. There will be, the first building on this end is 350, she moving. You moving them? Go back down. Go back up.
Is it purpose-built communities?
It's a purpose-built community. So on this corner, the first two things are going in, of course, it's Care South is first, and then this big 4-story building is senior housing. Housing Authority is gonna do 362 units of senior housing through the Neighborhood Reinvestment Act from HUD and LHC. So those two pieces are going next, and then the library and the council will go in a year or two later.
How much land is that?
About 15 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Ms.
15
Amon, how
acres.
many will not be senior housing?
If you see on the back, you see these little houses that look like condos. Those will not be senior housing. Those will be intergenerational. They're gonna target some younger folks, like, middle-aged working folks. Those will be condos, and those will be for sale. So the only rental property in the facility will be for seniors.
Okay, and I just wanna throw this out there, too. Just since we will be so close to people who are not seniors. I remember when we were developing this area, you had the great idea about the possible police substation there. And maybe possible we can talk to, I don't know if the sheriff office or the city police has
right.
jurisdiction there, but
sheriff.
possibly we could talk to them about.
It's in there.
Oh, it's in there?
It's in there.
Okay,
They
good.
do have a piece in there for, I think it's BRPD. It's in there. They're gonna do a small substation toward the back. So anyway, this is just the preliminary plans. The property has been acquired, and Care South is about to start their infrastructure stuff. And so we'll be coming on 2 or 3 years later. But I just wanted you to see, some of the projects that we're working on.
And it's in
And
my
it's-
area.
Right, and there is a great
Been
need
waiting on you to come
for
through.
an independent senior center in North Baton Rouge, because
Yes,
over at the
sir.
Charles R. Kelly Center, we over our capacity.
Yes.
And so there is a great need for the folks in the Glen Oaks area to be able to have somewhere to go. And as you know, that neighborhood is older now, and so those people need access to our services, our meals, and our activities, so they can continue to maintain their independence. And then lastly, is the Howell Village part. We don't have the picture in there, because we're still working on it. That is 55 acres, in Councilman Coleman's, area in her district, that we'll be doing with, with Gulf Coast Housing. That we will do 300 units of senior housing. They're going, and it's two types of senior housing. One will be intergenerational for grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, and those will range from 1 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. And then we're gonna do some independent senior housing. They will also have single-family homes and multiple businesses within this 55 acres. And it's going to tie into the work that's happening at Howell Place. And that is a collaboration between the Housing Authority, Gulf Coast, and us.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we've been busy.
Yeah.
And then just lastly, I want to give you all just some updates on some of our activities, because I really want you all to come. As you may remember, we are celebrating our 50th year this year, and so all of these are 50-year celebration events. First and foremost, Senior Skip Day is next week on the 27th. We're going to have Chief Dunn frying over 600 pounds of fish. Yes, 600 pounds of fish, fried catfish on site. Our sausage vendor, Country Pleasing, is making 5,000 plates of jambalaya with their sausage. We're gonna have 10,000 pounds of crawfish, corn, potatoes, and all the trimming. We'll have Chicken Shack is coming out with 5,000 two-piece specials.
My.
Right, we have merchants is bringing 10 food vendors, including Frito-Lay. Coca-Cola will be giving out samples of the Simply juices. We'll have Sara Lee is giving out bundt cakes. It's 10 different national vendors that will be there just giving out samples of all of their stuff. Merchants is also doing cooking demonstrations on fresh and healthy cooking meals that you can make. We will be giving out $20,000 worth of fresh fruit and vegetables to every senior. We have Louisiana Department of Health. You taking notes? Louisiana Department of Health.
Seniors don't check no pages.
They don't. Louisiana Department, that's right. That's right. They're going, what we doing, right?
They tell me what I'm doing.
We have a map this time because we have so much going on. We have a map with a number for every person. We have LDH that is going to do a healthcare track. We have Dr. Garland Green will be there. The cardiologist, he's going to do some talks, and this will be in a tent that's air conditioned because we'll be getting vaccinations, everything from monkeypox to shingles. There's a rising shingle epidemic right now for seniors and people 50 and older. In our city, it's high right now, the shingles. So we'll be giving out those shots. We'll be giving out, of course, the COVID vaccine, and anybody who takes a vaccination will leave with a $50 gift card, for a Visa gift card for you taking the vaccination.
Go ahead and take me another one.
Take another one.
Can young board members take it?
You can. Anybody who takes a shot can get a gift card. Doesn't matter the age.
They're not gonna be vis- all of them not gonna be visas.
All of them not gonna be visas, so they're gonna be different kind of gift cards because it's hard to get all of it. Then we have, we'll have, how many people in the healthcare track?
We have about 25.
We have 25 vendors in the health tent. And then on top of that, of course, it's a festival, so we're gonna play games. Bingo has prizes, ring toss, Pacino, hula hoop toss. We got Keith Frank cornhole. We got Keith Frank and the Zydeco Swallow that will be playing music for us, as well as the Rusty Yates Band, DJ Marquise. We're gonna do line dancing. So we got just a whole plethora of activities. And this is an opportunity for the seniors. They skipping school. They skipping the senior center. They skipping the doctor's office. We skipping all the stuff. We skipping babysitting. And we're gonna be busting them in. And we already have upwards of 4,000 registered. And so it's gonna be big. And we want you all to come out, get your T-shirt, put it on, volunteer, enjoy the activities as well. And it's just a time for us to spend the day fellowshipping with the seniors. So that's with the seniors. That's Senior Skip Day.
Is there a certain place we're supposed to come?
To the fairground.
Huh?
To the fair. You talking about for board members?
For board members?
You gonna drive? We'll have you guys some reserved parking.
Y'all have
Stag
one?
gonna take that. We have a parking
Reserved
space
parking.
for you, reserved parking.
Yeah, but y'all volunteering that day, right?
Some of-
We're not waiting on board members that day unless.
sure
If
about
you're a
the
senior, we might wait on you, but other than that.
Better be a senior.
Ms. Francis, we ain't waiting on seniors that day.
But y'all, I'm gonna have some extra, tables and chairs at my tent for anybody that.
We have a
might need it.
hospitality tent as
Just
well.
lemonade,
Yeah.
jambalaya fish.
That's right. We got a hospitality tent. We have 3 drink tents, and then we have the big tents that's facing the stage. And so we're just looking to have a good time. And it's going down, rain or shine. So if you can bring your lawn chair, you can bring your cooler, and bring your raincoat. Rain or shine is going down because it's paid for, right? So it's going to happen. And then shortly thereafter, any questions about that? What y'all need? Any questions? Okay. Shortly thereafter will be the annual meeting. Yeah, I'm sidebar. It'll be the annual meeting, and you know that's when you all get reaffirmed by the seniors, and so we'll be sending out ballots right after we do the skip day to all the senior centers, and it's going to be on the same way we did it last year. Small. The seniors don't want to come to annual meeting because they're saving their energy up for senior prom, which is 3 days after that. So we won't have a large annual meeting. We'll get here, tally the votes. There are a couple of board members that have timed out, and we'll get that to you all so we can the development committee can see about their replacements. Kathy Coleman she's timed out, and she can sit out for a year and come back later. I think it's one other, but I don't have it in front of me. And then the next year is the 50th anniversary senior prom and gala. So the former board chairs wanted to have a gala. The seniors said they don't want a gala, they want a prom, but you could put it together. And this year, the seniors came up with, they wanted to be a sneaker ball. All their grandkids are going to sneaker balls, so they won't go to sneaker ball. So we're going to wear our formal dresses and tux with your best sneakers, all right? So the seniors, they're going to wear their naturalizer sneakers, or whatever kind of sneakers they wear. But we're going to have a sneaker ball, so you all get ready. Because some of you all will be dance partners for the seniors, but we'll have a great time. And during a portion of this, we will honor and give recognition to 50 people in the community that have helped the council throughout the years. And the former boards members are coming up with that. And then we have the senior M&M tour, and Trudy's going to give you all a copy so you can have just a flyer for the prom. You all can come, of course, bring your plus ones, but just know, Chief, you let Miss Dion know if the senior, they might grab you up and dance with you, so you gotta have your dancing shoes on. And then we're going to Memphis and Montgomery. From June 4th to the 10th, we're going to Memphis first. We're going to, of course, we're gonna go to Beale Street. We're gonna go to the home of Elvis Presley, and we're gonna eat banana and peanut butter sandwiches. We're gonna take his whole tour. We're going to go to the Lorraine Motel. We'll go to some of the other things. And then we're going to get on the bus and go on to Montgomery, where we'll go to some of the other museums in that area. We are taking 202, because we got 2 more than we should have. 202 seniors.
And I'm still getting calls.
202 seniors on 6 buses. We'll be using the new leadership buses, 2 of those, and then some charter buses. And it'll be about 25 staff members, because you have the ratio is 1 to every 20. So it'll be 25 staff members that will go as well. And so we'll be gone for that week with the seniors that's going to cut up, right? But we're going to have a good time with them. And then last but not least, Thanksgiving dinner and dance will be located at the River Center as well. And that will be Tuesday, November the 14th. Any questions, comments, concerns?
One thing,
Yes, did I forget something?
no, just a slight
Go ahead.
correction.
Correction.
Yeah, but a good one.
All right.
It's 1 to 10, not 1 to 20.
I'm sorry, it's 1 to 10.
Yes. The
I'm
ratio.
sorry, y'all know my weakness is numbers, that's why I keep Miss Brad around. 1 to 10, 1 to every 10. And so it'll be more than 25 staff members.
Well, thank you. Look like y'all been real busy. Let's give, Ms. Amar and the staff. Ms. Key?
Tasha?
Yes.
This has the 29th and this has the 19th.
When is it? Does it have 29th on it?
It's the 19th.
It's the 19th. Okay, thank you. That's our graphic guy. He got the numbers.
That's gonna be the single law.
Yes, it's on the 19th.
She can say
Okay.
so.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We're gonna also send you calendar invites, and of course, you know, Trudy will text y'all to death, so you get text. All right.
Okay, we have a new board member, Ms. Geraldine Key, and at this time, we'll introduce you all to
And
her.
hear from her.
And hear from her, a little bit about yourself and
What you do?
what you do, and we know you're gonna come in helping us to work.
Yeah. Okay, my name is first again, Geraldine Key. I have been in Baton Rouge since I came in 1979, so that is what, about 44 years. I've been working with Social Security for 26. I am married to a Baton Rougean. Once he came back here, 1985, we had 3 children, 35, almost 36, 33, and 28.
Oh, wow.
All professionals now. We got them all out of the house, off of our payroll. We promised them if we can get you out of undergrad, then, you know, you're on your own after that. 2 grandkids. Our last one is 2 months old. We're very proud of them. I'm here to help. I've been working with the public for all those years, and it's one of my things that I do enjoy doing. I do want to retire this year. Don't tell anybody else. I'm not planning to tell my boss until the last minute. Because things have changed though in our world. So I'm just ready to really still do that for the public. They say that they're public oriented, but they're kind of different with us. So I do want to do that for the public. You know, that is something that is really near and dear to me. So I'm glad to be here with you all because what you're doing is something that I really want to get into and continue no matter how long it is. I mean, if I'm not sitting here, it doesn't matter. It matters that I'm still involved with the public.
And Ms. Key, is you the regional director?
I'm the
of
district manager,
District
so
manager.
I manage the one on Bankers, but I oversee the other one on Harding as well.
Social Security. So you need some help with your Social Security check.
Yeah, one of my things, Father Josh Johnson, that was at the other event, the ribbon cutting and all, he's our new priest at Sacred Heart. He's trying to get out into the area around Sacred Heart.
Oh, great.
And so I have promised him that I'm going to be doing some other things in the community around the church. One of the things is I'm trying to find some businesses that are going to be giving away some computers so that I can help those individuals that are afraid to or do not want to file online, so that they can file online because our calendars are at least 60 days out, and most people can't wait that long.
Right.
And so I'd like to get some of our other retirees to come back and help so that
Awesome.
those people can kind of get their benefits done sooner than later.
Well, I would like
They
to
could also
nominate.
use the intergenerational center where we already have.
Yeah, I mean,
computers.
and that's something
Yeah.
that I probably would have been talking to you.
Yes.
You know, as I get closer to that, because while I'm with the agency, I can't necessarily represent them.
Right.
But afterwards, I can try to help, just go out and, I was gonna use the diocese as one thing and whoever else I could get in touch with.
We can nominate Mr. Rico Thomas, who was your.
If we can get him off the couch watching
Get him
TV,
off the couch.
he either calls and fusses about something, or he, tells me whoever he knows or whatever. It's always something.
Well,
So,
thank
but I
you.
talk to him a lot.
Thank you for joining us to serve, and we're really gonna look forward to working with you. Have you seen the intergenerational center?
I have not.
Okay.
We're gonna give her a full tour.
That's gonna be your first tour,
Okay.
ma'am, so that we can
Okay.
get over there and
Yeah,
see
we try to
those
get
computers.
somebody to
Thank
go
you
show
so
'em.
much.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you. If there's nothing else?
Madam Chair,
yes,
I'd
ma'am.
like to acknowledge these folk here for taking all those seniors to the movies. Y'all,
Yes.
that,
Oh, yeah.
that was really, yes. I even slid in there, but it was well, like y'all always do, organized and took good care of them, the whole 9 yards. I want to thank you. And also, I want to say to you, over at the Leo S. Butler Center, I have a computer room.
Okay.
Good.
So please feel free, and then I can adequately serve District 10 people
That's
or
awesome.
anybody else.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's there for
That's my
Yes.
husband, he grew up in that area.
good. So tell them, come on back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're mid-city,
and-
but,
And we
you
got
know,
other
we're not
districts you
far.
can come help.
Come on.
Look, they gonna start dragging.
Okay, I'm fine, I got a vehicle.
We took 622 seniors to the movies last week, which was good. It's the first time that they've been able to get out since COVID to go to the movies with their peers. So we bought out the whole theater, and the movie theater company, they enjoyed it so much. We're gonna do it once a quarter now. Once a quarter, and they gave us a very, very low
Is
price.
that the same place I did?
Celebrity, we get the popcorn, the ticket, the drink, all for under $10 a
Is that the
person.
same location? Because I didn't come this time.
I think so. I don't know. Out there
Well, I
on George
did.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think their seniors are 55.
60 and up.
60?
Yeah, huh.
Oh, that's right.
60 and up. Yeah. And so we'll be doing that once a quarter. And so you all, if you get a chance on some of those days, come out and join. It's a good time. Seniors are like kids again, and they talked all through the movie. I got to go back and watch it. They talked all through the movie. They talked all through. Miss Amos, you see that? I saw it. But we saw 2 or 3 different movies, so you had your choice of movie, which is great. So we'll be doing it again. We'll be asking you all to come out during, especially if you're not confined at your office, to come out during some of these activities.
I'm glad to see that movie day has grown.
It's grown.
Because we
It's
only
huge.
had one, when I first started, it was only one theater that we went in, because that's all we could afford. But
Yep.
I'm glad to see that. They've been talking about it quite a bit.
Yep.
Thank you so
That's it.
much.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, motion to adjourn.
Ah, yes, you can. Now, you ain't
All
said
in
nothing all day.